Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to cover this game again, but I was sent a copy by Boomerang Game Rentals because I forgot to remove it from my rental list. So I thought I'd give it a go just to see if it's as bad as I thought it would be. And my fears have almost 100% been confirmed. It feels and plays almost exactly like a reskinned MGS5 with really poor hand-to-hand combat. The area is basically the Afghanistan map from MGS5. There's a lot of reused assets. There's nothing wrong with that. This isn't a full price title in the UK anyway. I think it's like £25 in the UK. I saw it in Tesco for that price. So it's not a full price game. So I don't begrudge them reusing assets, but the whole thing as a whole just feels lazy. It's the same game as MGS5, except it's a survival game with some annoying hunger and thirst mechanics. Now that isn't for me. I admit those sort of games aren't for me, and there will be an audience for this game. I fully expect it because some of the mechanics in this game are pretty cool. I like the fact that you can like build fences up and protect yourself while stabbing zombies through the fence. I like doing stuff like that. But the AI is far too easily exploited to create any tension when you're out in the wild. Get on something that's just above head height for the zombie things, or the wanderers as they're called in this game, and they can't hit you. You can sit up there and take out an entire mob and they can't touch you. That's not engaging combat. Metal Gear Solid, the series which obviously this is a spin-off from, has always been known for having really good AI. I remember playing MGS2 and they'd call for backup and they'd call in where you were and ask for help in certain areas, and that was really cool to experience. But the Wanderers here, okay, are meant to be zombies, so they're not going to be intelligent, but they can't climb a ledge. So you can walk into a base, sit on a, as I said, head height wall, and just take them out. And I've taken out 25 Wanderers like that. I think you're seeing footage of it now. It's not hard, it's not challenging, and it removes any tension from the gameplay. The hardest thing is to make sure that you stay hydrated and that you stay hunger free. To create clean water, you've got to play to chapter 7, so you're going to have to keep drinking dirty water. And the dirty water makes you feel sick, so you're constantly having to stop and be sick, which is just a pain in the arse. It's not good. I think what bothers me most here is that Konami had the Fox engine and the MGS license and decided to make a zombie survival game. They could have done anything with the engine. The Fox engine looks absolutely fantastic, and we're getting a zombie survival game out of it. Who can imagine like I don't know, Konami owns Silent Hill, that franchise. Why not a Silent Hill franchise set within the Fox engine? That'd be amazing. Or even let the developers that made this game make a new IP. Why do you have to use this license to try and sell as a survival game? I think if they were given the time and weren't forced to use this license, I do think this game could have potential. As I said, I played 7 to 8 hours of it so far, and I haven't been bored, but it hasn't gripped me. I've sort of just been milling through it, doing menial chores and recovering resources. I don't expect it to be Metal Gear, and I covered that in my first video. I don't expect it to be a Metal Gear game, and I'm not going to sit here crying that it isn't a Metal Gear game. But of all the things to use a Fox engine for, why a zombie survival game? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like they've tried to latch onto the hype that the survival genre was on about 3 years ago, but they're 3 years too late. I fully expect them to release Metal Gear Solid Battle Royale in like 5 years' time after that ship has sailed. I'm not really going to touch on the always online and microtransactions. I'm assuming they're going to get dragged through the coals for that. One thing I do want to mention though is, if you want to start a new character and have a different playthrough, you're expected to pay. You can only have one character at a time. So if I want to start up a new save of a different character, I either delete my character, my existing one, or I paid $10 for an extra save slot. Like, this game's going to have its defenders, and every single game does. Terrible games like Ride to Hell Retribution will have people that will defend it, and I understand why, and I mentioned it before. If you love something, you'll defend it. I support Man United. We played terrible against Sevilla yesterday. I still defend us. But you have to see the logic here that's terrible business practice. You're getting ripped off. Most games offer multi-save functions where you can start different characters, especially games like this. You know, how I like to play these sort of games is my first character is a test run where I get used to the sort of mechanics and the systems, and then my second character is where I feel like I've got the grips of everything and I can start really making a go of things. But for me to do that, I'm going to have to delete my first character, therefore deleting, 10 to 15 hours worth of progress in the process. It's a baffling decision by Konami, but one that I can't say I'm surprised from. The game does contain many more microtransactions, but as I said, I won't delve into that. But I did want to point out that if you're going to have more than one character, you have to pay $10. That's shocking. So my fears have been confirmed. I still stand by my statement that do not buy this game, and not because I'm white knighting for Kojima or fanboying for Kojima, because I just don't think it's a good game. They could have done anything with this engine. This engine is a real technical powerhouse. Not necessarily in this game, because they use the fog to try and hide some of the environment the more you get into it, but the actual animations, the motion capture, it looks unbelievable sometimes. Yeah, we're getting a zombie survival game. I can't quite wrap my head around the business decision there from Konami. They could have done anything with it, and my only hope is we don't see a Battle Royale game in 4 years' time once that ship has sailed. The microtransactions enough should be enough to turn you off. The fact you have to pay $10 for a character should make your mind up about this game and what kind of game it is, and how Konami see the MGS brand now. If you're not a Metal Gear Solid fan, still don't buy the game. Don't think that you telling me, oh, I'm going to buy the game is going to affect me. It's going to affect you. The game isn't fun. It may be fun in co-op. Bear in mind, I've played it on my own. But even then, it's a grindy game. And if I want to experiment with different characters, I'm paying $10 out of my own money to do so. That doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't. And unless they change that, that's reason enough, in my opinion, not to buy the game. But anyway, I'd love to know what you think about the game. Do you think it's good? Have you played it? Did you buy it? Do you plan on buying it? Are you going to rent it? Are you going to borrow it from a friend? I'd love to know what you think about the game. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I upload Easter eggs, video game secrets, and sometimes videos where I call developers lazy, even though I know bugger all and I'm sitting in my house. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you all soon.